Thank you for joining. In today's episode, we are going to cover Teams Whiteboard. Actually, it's not just Teams Whiteboard, it's an application on Windows. It works on mobile as well. But most people would find it very convenient and useful to use it while conducting Teams meetings. So let's get started and learn how this is done. So here I am in a Teams meeting. I am Nitin. I am one of the participants. I have two other people. One is assistant and one is boss. Now both these people are connected using different devices. Boss is connected using a Surface which has a touch screen and a stylus, whereas assistant is connected just using a mobile phone Teams app. Now let's see how this is done. In real life, when we want to share anything on the screen in Teams, what do? We go to the share button in Teams, which is here, the up arrow button. And then what do? We share the content. And we have multiple options there. We have first option, which is the desktop. I have two monitors. Normally you'll see one. All the windows which you can choose, pick and choose from. And the third option is the whiteboard. There is also a fourth option called PowerPoint Live, which we'll see some other day. So we are going to focus on the third option. When we start it using the whiteboard for the first time, it takes a little while. So many people get irritated and put off and they think it's never going to work and they never go back to whiteboard. And I would say just have little patience, it will come. And once it comes, there is another complication, which again is sort of a deterrent. As soon as you open it in Teams, it works, but it also has an option called Open in App. Many people don't notice it, and even if you notice it, there is no compelling reason why anyone would click on this. And I strongly recommend, if you are on Windows 10, always click on this. Once you do that, what happens? Another complication, another deterrent. It will ask you to download an app in Windows. I know this is very irritating and too much. I'm in a meeting. I want to do a whiteboarding session and obviously I don't want to go through all this. So get it done once. This is a one-time job. Once you do that, you install the app, go to Microsoft Store, install the app and make sure you log into it using your corporate ID, assuming you're using Teams in a Microsoft 365 or corporate context. Why is that important? Because by default, it may have taken your personal Microsoft ID and then when you say open in app, another error will come saying ID is not matching. So make sure you log in using your corporate email ID. Having done that, now you're all set. Now what happens? Let's see. So now what did I do? I went to my Teams meeting and instead of drawing anything here, I said open in app. Now what happens? It opens the Windows 10 proper app. As you will see here, the three people are still listed and I have many nice options, but we'll see the options later. Another thing you need to understand is, do I really need a stylus or a touchscreen to use a whiteboard? No, absolutely not. For example, right now what I'm showing you, I don't have a stylus here. I don't have a touchscreen. I just have simple mouse. What do you do with that? I can use this for drawing, of course. I can use it for highlighting, or maybe you just want to add text. So just click on text and you can type text. So now I don't really need any special software or any special device. Now this is working with keyboard and mouse, and I'm sure all of you have that if you are on a desktop machine. Of course, this will work on Mac also within Teams. Having said that, now let's see what can be done using a stylus. Obviously, stylus is more convenient, so let's see how that is done. In the stylus scenario, you can draw with more freehand kind of stuff. And while we are at that, there are some very nice options which are not enabled by default, which you should enable. One is called active pen. I'll explain what that means. Ink to shape, another nice feature. Ink to table, even better. And object snapping while we are dragging and stuff like that. So I'm going to go full screen. Now this part is also important. You can choose where the toolbar is, left, right or bottom. Generally people prefer left or right because at the bottom there may be something else overlapping. Anyway, so now what do? We use this to draw. You can type. You can put a sticky note and type there as well. So you can put notes and type. You can drag them along, put them anywhere. But that's not all. Of course, you can put an image, but there is a plus sign, which is very useful. What all can you do here? You can copy paste. Notes grid means what? Instead of one note, very often we need multiple such notes, and you can keep adding them, adjusting them, and so on. Another very nice feature. So let's see what else can we do. Now, so far, whatever I'm doing using normal keyboard and mouse. Now I'm going to move to another device and try it from Stylus. So this is something I'm doing using the Stylus. I'm going to choose red pen. This part you can't see because I am on another device. So if you can write using Stylus. Now you notice whenever I am writing there, a small thing called DP came that tells you who is the current person who is drawing it. And now let me show you what happens on mobile. But before that, one more useful thing. If I draw something like this, it's not a very perfect thing. It converts it into a good looking shape. So that's called what? That is the feature called ink to shape. But that's not all. Let's do one more. So I'm going to delete this. Again, this time I'll try to draw it in a different way. So let me position it correctly. So this is another. Now if I split it, notice nothing happened. But if you split it correctly, still nothing happened. So let's try once more. I draw a rectangle, then I split it, then I split it. So what is actually happening? It's creating a table while we are doing this. And I can create the table, and now that the table is created, I'm just changing the color, and now I'm writing in the table. Whatever. So I draw a diagram inside the table. Notice that as I'm working on it, it's actually expanding the table. So it's really, really beautiful. And once you start using it, you will never want to give up this feature. Many people have never noticed it because of the deterrents I talked about. So I'm sure you like this. Now, what else can we do? So far I was doing this on a machine with a touchscreen and stylus, which everyone may not have. So let's see what we can do on a mobile. On the mobile phone we have similar toolbar, slightly less features, but I can still draw ink. So I'm choosing green color on my mobile now, and I'm going to draw. So right now I'm drawing on my mobile. So I'm just writing with my finger. And the only problem where people get confused is it may move around because this aspect ratio of each device may be different. But you can zoom in, zoom out using mouse scroll wheel. You can drag it using mouse. Make sure when you are drawing something, people around the meeting are able to see what you are drawing. So this is what we can do. We can do highlighting. We can erase anything which has been drawn. All this I am doing on mobile. Or you can also type text from mobile. Same things basically. And then you can move them around and so on. And few shapes from mobile. So this is a shape I am drawing. And you can delete, you can recolor, whatever. Having done that, now you must be thinking, okay, that's all we typically do in a whiteboard. But no, We have just begun. This is just the beginning. There is more. So let me get rid of this and then we will see more. What do I mean by more? So click on this or click on this plus sign. What do you see? Notes grid. We have seen a list. You can actually type a list, and this is a task list, and you are actually able to type properly. And what is the importance of this? Suppose you are putting some action point and there are multiple people on the in that particular call. Other people can like it, and you can actually see how many people have liked it. So there is interaction even within a whiteboard. Imagine doing this in a regular whiteboard. So this is really, really useful. Not only that, if there is a list, eventually you can copy paste this and change it to a proper checklist if you like as well. You can edit the region title and reorder and stuff like that. Sort by reaction count, which is very nice in case there are multiple likes and you want to pick the top one, two, three, whatever. Okay, that's good. What else? Now we have a follow-up list, which is in preview right now, but it's a good thing to have. Similar thing, assign to is another column you get there. And when you say assign, obviously, who is going to be there? People who are a part of the meeting. So now within the whiteboarding session, I assigned something to boss. Whatever. Very nice. And then we have PDF, which you can insert. Word, typically Word documents will be verbose, so it may have limited usefulness, but PowerPoint is another very nice feature. So if I, for example, put some PowerPoint thing here and insert or try to insert, it actually shows me the slides. I can insert all slides or one slide, and then on top of that, I can start working. So it could be an engineering drawing, it could be a block diagram, whatever I have in PowerPoint, and then people can start working on top of it. So now I'm going to the mobile phone and drawing on top of it. And here I'm going to the stylus, choosing red color and also drawing top of it. Now, even in a physical world, this is difficult to do on a whiteboard. So this is really useful. And to top it all, we have one more beautiful feature called templates, which is again in preview but works beautifully. What are templates? So let me first clear out this so that this doesn't interfere with our life when we include templates. So templates are really useful. These templates are available in the plus sign. There are some common scenarios for which brainstorming is one of the commonest reasons why we use whiteboard, but that need not be the only reason. Kanban, many meetings, especially in Kanban kind of scenarios, we have a standing meeting where there's a huge board and there are action points. That kind of thing is available. I'm just going to scroll through the templates and then we will go into one or two of them. Retrospective, which is another common template used. Effective meeting management, SWOT analysis, project planning, milestones, and so on. Empathy map is very commonly used in UI design or any brainstorming kind of thing, and a persona builder, which is again very commonly used by developers as well as marketers. So let's take one of them and see what happens. So let's say empathy map. So what it actually does, it gives you a ready-made template. So what does this have? It's actually a collection of all the individual ingredients we have seen so far. So what do we have here? We have the map, and it actually gives you a little bit of direction and how to use it. And then we have something tasks, pain points, and so on. And then we have a grid of items. This grid can be individually controlled or you can just move around, and this is really nice. So like that, we have templates for various things. So here is a template which is for brainstorming. We have agenda items, follow-ups, ideas. Here is another one for Kanban, backlog, in progress completed, also used for developers. Manufacturing, scheduling a project, multiple phases, Effective problem solving. This is a common method which is used. And this is an empathy map which we saw. So really, really beautiful and very, very useful. Now the best part comes later. We have been using whiteboards in physical world for so many years, decades, till COVID came, and now everyone is working from home. But just go back to pre-COVID era. What used to happen in a whiteboard? When the meeting finishes, what happens to the whiteboard? You are supposed to erase the whiteboard, otherwise the next people who come for the meeting are going to be unhappy with you. Now this is the best part of using whiteboard here. Whiteboard is not just for whiteboard's sake. It was a part of a meeting, and even if the meeting is ending, what would you want to do? After the meeting is over, why do you want to erase the whiteboard? So after the meeting is over, what happens is the whiteboard continues. So if you go to the whiteboard, this is a meeting which is already finished. Whatever happened in that whiteboard is still not only there as an image, but it is an interactive whiteboard. So whatever I showed earlier, that brainstorming can continue offline and there is no end point for it. So that is the best part of it. Really, if you want to do it that way, if you have a meeting and even before the meeting has started, nothing prevents you from clicking on the plus sign, adding a whiteboard, creating a brainstorming template, and asking people or inviting people to even contribute before the meeting started. So, throughout the entire life cycle of the meeting, whiteboard is there to help you. So, I hope I have made it as easy and as relevant as possible. And one last thing, this is not tied to Teams. You just install the Windows app, you log in using personal email ID, and then you can invite other people independent of Teams with all the features which I've already shown you. So that was a quick overview of how great the whiteboard is. I'm sure you will try using it. You'll need a little bit of extra patience, not just to install it, but if you want to use it, you can't use it alone. So you'll have to teach this, show this demo, or share this video with your colleagues so that they can also understand its importance and take the little extra effort to install it properly once and for all. So future meetings are more effective and productive. So that's it for now. Thank you. And now let's take questions. Yes, Deepak, no problem. The video will be up very soon. Any questions? Any comments anyone has? Yeah, it is not a question of whether it is an MNC or a small company or which industry. It's just that people are so tired with meetings, they have no interest or inclination or energy to explore features. It's not really a difficult thing to do. Every day, when you click on the share button, that is visible there. Nobody takes the trouble. And especially in the case of whiteboard, as I told you, first time you click, it is going to take a little while, then it'll ask you to install a Windows 10 app. So there is an entry barrier or deterrent, which obviously people have very little attention span and patience. So it never gets to the fore. Great. Any other questions? I have seen people use it in a hybrid scenario as well, which means some people are physically in a conference room because they are going to office and they have actually drawn something. Now, how do you make other people who are working from home participate in that? So take a photo, put it as a picture, and then in that Teams whiteboard, people can participate. So it can be used in a hybrid kind of situation as well. Great. So if there are no more questions, let's call it a night and see you on Monday. Monday, we have an interesting topic called how to use a mouse and when to use a mouse. Now, that may surprise you because many people don't use the mouse because they are happy with the laptop laptop touchpad. But I'll tell you why you should use mouse and more importantly, how to use it more effectively. We have a question from Ankita. Since it's not a team specific, we can use it for any meeting. Yes, absolutely. So whatever Teams or WebEx or Zoom or XYZ you're using, make sure everyone installs the app on Windows 10 and call them for the meeting. This is just a screen, so it's an application. You can share that window, but you will have to take the extra trouble of inviting those people who are already in WebEx or in Zoom, and then they will have to log into the whiteboard separately. With Teams, it is integrated. So anyway, they have logged into the meeting, they're automatically a part of the whiteboard. So that's the convenience of integration. But technically, yes, you can use it anywhere. Yes. So I think Ankita asked a very nice question. So let's give the prize to her. Ankita, you will need to give us your email ID. You don't need to put it here. I will give my email ID. You can mail it to me. So any more questions or comments, or shall we call it a night? So as I said, on Monday, we have why and how to use the humble mouse. And from Monday, there will be another announcement for another series of events. I will not tell you details. They're just getting finalized, but another announcement coming on Monday for more sessions like this. All right. So thank you everyone for joining. It was a pleasure addressing you. See you next time. Bye bye.